This will make you think twice before using a public bathroom again. Akamanta is an evil Japanese ghost that likes to hang out in public restrooms. While you're in the bathroom, it will come up to you and ask you a very strange question. What do you prefer, red tissue or blue tissue? If you choose red, it will cut you up into tiny little pieces. Now, if you chose blue, it will start to choke you till you turn blue in the face. If you try to outsmart it by not picking a color or picking a different color completely, it will drag you to hell. So next time you have to use the restroom, just wait until you get home. Next time you go camping, be careful you don't end up like this story. In 2009, a church retreat goes deep into the forest to stay the night. Wanting to kill some time, the adults play cops and robbers with the kids. While chasing one of the kids, the adult sees something hiding in between the tall grass. It stands up, runs to the adults, and stops right at the edge of the grass, waiting for the adults to get closer. Thinking it's one of the kids, they start to chase it. Right when they get near it, it dives into the grass and starts crawling like a snake. It starts climbing a tree, looks at them with these deep red eyes, and lets out a deep, horrific screech. The adults start to run, and they never look back. This is why you should sleep with one eye open. This demon loves to take souls while they're sleeping to a place called the Further. The Further is a place between heaven and hell in which the demon totally controls. He'll take your soul there while he possesses your body. He's violent, he's ruthless, he's cruel. He loves to cause pain to others. He appears in the 2010 movie Insidious, in which a family fights to save their son. If you try to fight him, good luck, for he has super strength and can send people flying from a push. If he tried to possess you while you slept, what would you do? Let me know in the comments.
This is a teddy bear that is so dangerous it has to be locked up. This bear is located in England in Bolsover Castle, which was originally built in the 12th century. And one of the strangest things about this place is that inside of it, there was a bear named Mr. Ted that is said to be extremely cursed and haunted by something evil. Now, staff are so afraid of him, which is why he is locked in a glass case surrounded by chains, which is so weird to see because you'd never think someone would be like threatened by a teddy bear. Apparently, this bear is known to cause headaches and nausea to anyone that is standing near it. There are also numerous occasions where people have heard this bear growling at them. There was this one time a news crew was allowed to go to the castle to see this bear, and at 3 a.m. during the witching hour, all the cameras turned off, and the producer got so sick that he was taken to the hospital. So this bear does not play around. Do you know there are true stories of people who found Coraline-like doors in their own houses? Except it didn't take them to another world, it took them to places much creepier. In 2015, there was this couple who bought a new house, and they found this tiny secret door disguised in their bookcase. So they were super intrigued and even excited. They were thinking maybe it would lead them to some hidden treasure or money, but as they were going through the passageway, they found a note that read, "If you're reading this, then you found the secret room." But instead of something exciting, it said, "It's filled with black mold." The walls inside this secret room were covered. There was so much of it that the previous owner and his children were constantly getting sick from it. So the couple immediately packed their things, left the house, making sure to sue the agent who sold them the mold-infested house in the first place. Alright guys, I'll have to make a part 2 of more people who found creepy secret doors.
Yes, the picture at the end is real. In 1876, a woman from a very prominent family in Paris goes missing. After years go by and no one has a clue what happened to this woman, friends and family ultimately mourn her death and move on. 25 years later, and this anonymous letter shows up on the Attorney General's desk, claiming that the missing woman's family had a secret. Intrigued by the letter, the police go to the family's home, show it to them, and ask to search the property, to which they say, go for it. They search, they don't find anything, but on the way out, they notice something very peculiar. At the end of some stairs was a door that was padlocked shut. When the family refused to open it, the police break it down and make a horrifying discovery. Cowering on a rotten straw mattress in a pitch black room was the missing woman, now 50 years old and extremely malnourished. Her mother had imprisoned her there after they had fought over her boyfriend, and she had not seen sunlight or another human being in 25 years.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, Part 1. When creating the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, they couldn't create skeletons that looked realistic enough, so they used real human skeletons. Since then, they've removed all but one. Ducks sometimes become cannibals due to boredom, meaning they kill and eat each other. This behavior begins as early as 4 weeks old. Crocodiles are capable of galloping, similar to a horse. Luckily, alligators cannot. And while we're at it, tarantulas can swim. It's extremely common after you die that there will be extreme gas buildup and you will burp after death. And sometimes dead bodies can even sit up on their own. Also, if a pregnant woman dies, the gas buildup in her body can actually forcefully push a baby out. In other words, a post-mortem baby bazooka. Hearing is the last bodily function to go after one dies, so it's very possible that the last thing you ever hear is the paramedic calling off your CPR. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, Part 21. This photo shows 8-month-old Xiao Bao who was lucky to be alive because his mother stabbed him 90 times after he bit her while she was breastfeeding him. The world's scariest haunted house, McCamey Manor, requires you to sign a 40-page waiver and undergo a physical and mental evaluation. If you manage to make it through the house, you could win $20,000. But to this day, no one has ever made it through. The little girl who voiced Ducky in The Land Before Time was shot to death by her father, who then committed suicide. Roman Emperor Nero had a boy castrated, dressed him up as a bride, and married him, all because the boy looked similar to his previous dead wife. A 46-year-old man found and attacked a 13-year-old boy because the kid was killing him too many times in a game of Call of Duty.
This is a Dybbuk. You might recognize it from this video that surfaced in 2018 of Post Malone touching it inside of Zak Bagans' Haunted Museum, and most of us know that didn't end well. But what is a Dybbuk, and why is it considered the most haunted item in the world? The Dybbuk is a wine box that was purchased in 2001 by an American man at an estate sale in Spain. When the man learned that the item was a family heirloom, he offered to return it to the family, but they insisted that he keep it. The box was purchased by the family's grandmother after the Holocaust had ended, but it sat unopened inside of her sewing room because the grandmother was convinced a Dybbuk was inside of it. Dybbuk is a demon that has the ability to possess different items. When the American man brought the box home, he opened it up, and this is what was inside. Inside the box, there were 2 locks of hair, a single candle holder, 2 pennies from the 1920s, and a small statue with the Hebrew word peace inscribed. Like for part 2.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, Part 16. Kangaroos are absolutely terrifying, and if you mess with one, it will likely lure you into the water and attempt to drown you. There's an abandoned Disney park that you aren't allowed to go to, and it was shut down in 1999 because it was infested with free-roaming alligators. The animals were being abused, and an 11-year-old boy died from a flesh-eating bacteria found in the park's waters. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, the lion's costume was made out of a real skinned lion. This is the John Lawson house. No one knows who lives there, but every single day, there are several female mannequins sitting on the front porch wearing a variety of clothing. Their positions and outfits change daily, and many believe this is meant to convey some sort of message. And in 1871, a train crash took place just 200 feet away from the home, killing 22 people. And these mannequins are always pointing toward the crash.
Located in a cemetery in Vermont, there is a grave with a window to peek inside. This grave belonged to a man named Timothy Clark Smith. Timothy had a fear of being buried alive. This may seem like an irrational fear, but it was actually more common than people realize. Timothy patented a design for his own gravesite. Not only did he include a window on his tombstone, he also built a contraption that included a bell. In the case that Timothy woke up underneath the ground, he could pull a string and ring the bell to signal for help. Timothy passed away on Halloween in 1893. And he never needed to use the bell. The window to his grave is still there, although the visibility to see inside of it is very low after the years. But I can't imagine being a gravekeeper, hearing a bell ringing in the middle of the night, knowing that you are the only one there.
These are the strangest things that have ever been caught on camera, part 2. This footage from a security camera in Alaska shows what appears to be a real-life Men in Black agent talking to the store's receptionist. Unfortunately, there isn't any audio in this clip, but what the man appears to say to the woman alarms her, as she reaches into her drawer, pulls out a gun, and aims it at the man. But all the man does in response is remain calm, lift his hand in the air, tilt it, and then put it right back down on the desk. This seemed to put the woman in some sort of a trance, as she put the gun down and gave him a mysterious package. This next video shows a woman shopping in China when an item behind her mysteriously falls down. She then proceeds to pick it up and put it back onto the shelf. Immediately after doing this, she begins to act very strangely, as if she was being possessed. She then falls to the ground and proceeds to freak out as if she was in severe pain. As the other shoppers in the store try to help the woman, she lets out a ghostly scream which causes the camera to flicker and items to shake. Many people believe that this lady was possessed.